So, we are doing the second video in our series of If This Then That. And today we're just going to be looking at my computer to set up one of my recipes. But one of the things that we talk about, as entrepreneurs all the time is how much content we have to create. And so, anytime we can keep a list organized of content that we've got out there, it helps us repurpose that content faster and more efficiently. So, one of the things that, a lot of people do is they take their blog posts and they repurpose those into ebooks. And although that's a great task, if you haven't been keeping a list of what blog posts you've put together, then this can be really daunting. You're going to go through blog posts forever to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to just use one of my clients' sites. Oops. To set this up. Alright, the first thing I'm going to need is her RSS feed, which is right up here. Alright, so here it is. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to create a new recipe. And it's going to say, alright, let's start it. If what happens, what has to happen first is all you have to think about it. So click this. And then the first thing that would happen is you want a new blog post on her feed. A new feed item. We don't want one that just matches a certain whatever keyword or something. We want all of them. But you can see how specific you can get. So it says, what's your URL? There it is. Alright, so that was the trigger. Well, then what do you want to do? So click that. And we're going to go to Google Drive. Alright, now, you got to look at this a little bit. You're going to upload a file from an URL. This action will download the file at a given URL and add it to Google Drive. So that's not what we want. This action will create a new Google document at the path you specify. And that sounds like what we want, but you don't want it to do this every time. Alright? You don't want a document for every one. You want one document with everything in it. This action will append to a Google document as determined by the file name and folder path that you specify. Once a file reaches 2 meg, a new file will be created. This action will add a single row to the bottom of the first worksheet of the spreadsheet you specify. Note, a new spreadsheet is created after 2,000 rows. Alright, so we can either do this or we can do this. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to keep mine in a spreadsheet. Alright, and now it's saying, what information do you want to collect? So, first of all, what is this spreadsheet's name? And here it says, we will create a new spreadsheet if this one doesn't exist. So you're going to go in Cedo Group blog posts, and you can name it whatever you want. There's no right or wrong there. And then it says, what do you want us to put in each row? Alright, well, the entry published, the title, and the URL. We don't want really the whole content. And the feed title and the feed URL, that's for the entire feed, so that's not going to really be necessary. And if you want to add more things, you can look here. Here's the ingredients. Okay. The author should be, unless you're accepting guest posts on your blog, should be you every time. You don't want all the content. If you want the image URL, you can put that here. We have the day it was published. We have the title. We have the URL where the blog post is. So for me, this would be good enough. And then where do you want this folder to be inside Google Drive? So that works for me. And I would click Create Action. And that's it. And you can see I've already set it up for myself. Blogs from Springboard Designs. I just started mine. And so here's my entry title. Here's my blog post name. Here's my blog post URL. This was the feed title, and the feed URL is in column E. So that's not necessary, but you can leave it. You can go back and modify the recipe, whatever you want to do. This keeps everything in a great organizational manner that then lets you go back and repurpose these blog posts for different things. And you can tell pretty much by the title, what what it was about so that you can quickly categorize things. And this is one of those things you can set and forget. So I will see you in the next video where we will talk about another cool recipe from If This Then That. Thanks so much.